Paul Harrell, weekdays from 4 to 6. Learn more at paulharrell.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the program. Thank you so much for being with us today. Phone number, if you want to call or text us, 870-275-9799. That's 870-275-9799. Little interesting thing here. We're going to be talking with Donnie Copeland here in a minute, sometime in this segment, and he's going to Randolph County. Him and Josh Waters are headed to Randolph County. They're going to talk to the Randolph County Republican Committee. Let me tell you something. It is not going under the radar. What Josh Waters and Donnie Copeland are doing at these county committees, it is not going unnoticed. And you know, if I were, everybody just needs to know it. I mean, I'm not afraid of the truth. I think the establishment's afraid of the truth. They're afraid of the folks back home getting an unfiltered message of the truth. And they don't really they don't like what's going on. They don't like what's being publicized. They're going to reach out. They're going to try to squelch the truth. I'm sure the establishment, they're probably going to be following up. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna go to Faulkner County Republicans and the establishment's gonna be like, yeah, you can't listen to Josh Waters and Donnie Copeland. Will you be able to dispute their information about what transpired? And the answer is no, you can't. You could trash their character, which you can't. Not in any serious way. You could trash Conduit for Action, which, again, a dispute that's, you may not like the information because it's true, but, dispute the fact. Let's argue on the facts, right? I'll give you an example of the level of paranoia that exists within the establishment ranks of the Republican Party of Arkansas. Back in 2015, was covering the legislative session. And everything was pretty much said and done by March. Well, it just so happened in March, we got the program got a new affiliate. We got an affiliate out of Russellville. And we love our listening audience out of Russellville in the Arkansas River Valley area. We love those of you who are listening in Conway, Perry, Pope counties, Yell counties. And we're on now, the affiliate we're on out of Russellville now, 6:10 a.m. Carve, KARV, 5 days a week, is a giant AM signal. It gets into parts of Pulaski County. That's how big this AM signal is for the program. We really like it. Now, before that, we were on we were on KCAB before that. But that was the initial one. That was still a big station, very well listened to station, just like KRV is. All right, so the reason I say all this is about a month or two after we started broadcasting into the Russellville market, about a month or so. I got word that the majority leader, Senator Jim Hendren, was going to be speaking at the Tri-County Tea Party in Russellville. And so I decided, I was like, oh, Jim Hendren's speaking to the Tea Party. Wonder what he's going to say. I had no idea what I was in store for. So I go to Russellville and I do the show from the affiliate studios there in Russellville. And then after the show, I go downtown Russellville, and I'm waiting on Senator Hendren to get there. And there's a Tea Party meeting there that's well attended, and Senator Hendren comes in. He sees that I'm there. We exchange, how are you doing, that sort of thing. Nothing, no real tension to speak of, even though, I'd been on the radio calling him out for essentially saying that his bill did something it did not do, which was end Obamacare Medicaid expansion, and that was the big issue. Well, Senator Hendren has a slideshow, and he starts going through this slideshow. This is the majority leader, still today, the majority leader of the Arkansas Senate, Jim Hendren. in his slideshow, it was about me. He had my picture in his slideshow. He started throwing pictures up of my whiteboard that called, when we initially called the Health Reform Task Force a task farce. And you could imagine how awkward everything got from that point on. I mean, just in terms of I was like, oh man, am I glad I attended this meeting? And I say all that to say this. Senator Hendren, he probably didn't think I was going to show up at this meeting. He might have considered it, but I can't possibly think that he did. The point being was the information that I was giving the people on a new radio affiliate, okay, was obviously something that they were trying to combat. And so what did they do? They went in to try to combat what they were hearing on the radio waves. That is because they didn't like the truth that they were hearing. And that's what I'm saying is the establishment doesn't like Donnie Copeland and Josh Waters going around to these, not Tea Parties, but Republican county committees and showing them legislation. Here is line and paragraph what actually happened. Were the principles of the Republican Party platform adhered to? No, not very often. Did government grow? Yeah, it did. Joining me now to talk about more on this, we do have former State Representative Donnie Copeland on the line. I understand you're en route to Randolph County to speak to the county Republicans there, Donnie.
I am on Air Force 2 as we speak.
Oh, wow.
Flying over. It's a Toyota Corolla, though. It's not a helicopter. So you're not in your Maserati. Josh didn't loan you his Maserati? No, that guy won't even let me hardly ride in it, much less drive it. So I'm in my Toyota.
Wow. That's awesome. Hey, did you catch, or you were on, you caught a little bit of what I was saying. I was kind of just walking down memory lane because, this idea, I mean, you guys have been well received at these county committees. We talked about it last week. Are you, I was talking to somebody who was going to the meeting later tonight. They were saying that it was going to be a pretty big turnout. They were expecting a big crowd for you guys up there.
Yeah. It has been phenomenal in every place we have gone. And here's the thing, Paul, I think that is very important is, look, we aren't looking at this thing from a personality standpoint. We don't call people out. We don't say, this person, that person. We will give who sponsored the bill or so forth. But this is about principles with us. It's about, you said that you were a principled conservative, and you ran on that platform of the Conservative Party, and then you're doing nothing. You have Democrats voting with you almost 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. Matter of fact, there's going to be a scorecard, coming out, I think, tomorrow, kind of for Commerce scorecard. And it's going to, I'm just telling you, folks, it's going to be amazing to see, who's actually progressive. And, the party lines almost don't mean anything anymore. Donnie, did we lose Donnie? Donnie, you're there?
No, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
here.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't want you to be safe. You got your hands at 10 and 2, right?
I do.
Okay.
In fact, I was trying not to get on speakerphone, but I'm trying to play it safe. So.
Okay. So surely, I mean, I'm really glad that you brought that point up. You guys are not going into these meetings calling people out. You're not going into these meetings saying, this person, that person. You're just saying, look, they had something called a legislative session. It started in January. And Republicans have these massive majorities. And here's what they did. And then you kind of leave it to them to draw the conclusion of here's what they didn't do, right?
Well, absolutely. And here's what's been happening is they start bringing up their legislators and saying, what do you think about them? And I said, and naming names. And I'm like, look, just look at their record. I love all of them, but I don't care who they are. If it's my own flesh and blood and they're not voting correctly, there has to be repercussions for that. And so we've tried really hard to not make this, in any way, shape, form, or fashion about personality.
Man, that'd be so hard for me. That'd be so hard for me. If I would, I don't admire you guys because if somebody, if I was at one of those meetings, they'd be like, well, what about this legislator? And I'm like, well, let's see, he's like the most liberal one ever. I'd have to just say that. I'd have to be like, well, he needs to be primaried. Like I would just say, yeah, you guys got to get him out of there. He's terrible.
Yeah, and my personality, I love getting along with everybody, but I'm a straight shooter, and so I got to ask about the leadership, and I had to say, look, and here's how I open almost every meeting, and I'll tell your listeners already know that they're so highly informed and educated because they do listen to you, but we recognize so readily the deception and betrayal on the federal level. But we don't always recognize it on the state level. But I would contend it's as bad, if not worse, than the federal level.
Wow. I mean, that's a bold accusation. I think I would agree with you. I would agree with you just because I see it firsthand. You know what I mean? And there's just not any reporting on it. I mean, at least you have these well-trafficked sites like conservative media. I mean, there is a huge contingent of conservative media, a lot more than there used to be, that calls out Paul Ryan, that calls out Mitch McConnell, that says, hey, that we can actually apply pressure on them. There's not, aside from Conduit for Action, and maybe a group like Americans for Prosperity or something like that. That's not really a thing,
No, it really. I believe it's Caleb Taylor,
Arkansas Project. Yeah, they do it too. Yeah. I didn't mean to leave them out.
They'll call things out, but no one does it on a continual basis and holds people's feet to the fire like Conduit and like your show. It's not happening. And man, you cannot believe the response from people saying, thank you, there's someone like you out here that's letting us know what's going on. We were down in DeShay County, and they were like, man, we didn't know. One lady, I got to tell you this real quick. We had a lady that fought the special election. She was a blind lady. She was so sweet. And she said, I'm glad they finally did away with that farce of special elections where these school boards, have votes on rainy Tuesday night to get these special elections. And somebody said, no, that got defeated. And she was just crushed. She didn't know that till we were down there telling her.
Wow. And of course, that's on James Sturch's shoulders. That's firmly placed on him. CFA exposes why, because he walked out, and that's what killed the bill. Man, that's unbelievable. So you're going to be in Randolph County, and what time is that, and where is it at? Do you know?
That's going to be at 107 West Broadway, downtown Pocahontas, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's at we were told some historic building, and maybe the historic courthouse downtown. I apologize if I'm getting that right, but I do know
I think we lost him. Donnie, you're still there. Can you hear me?
At 6:30.
6:30. All right.
Yeah,
want to make sure we get the time in. Hey, Donnie, I appreciate it. So in Randolph County Republican meeting, and that's at 6:30. Say the address one more time.
107 West Broadway, and it's open to everybody. You don't have to be a Republican or a part of their committee to be there tonight.
That's a big deal. You don't have to be a Republican. So calling all independents and, no Democrats. I'm just joking. If Democrats want to come, they can come.
Yeah, if we got Democrats that believe in smaller government, we'd love to have them.
All righty. Donnie Copeland, former state representative. Hey, appreciate it, sir. Be safe, okay?
Thank you, Paul, for what you do, man.
All righty, folks, the number, if you want to call or text us, 870-275-9799. That's 870-275-9799. I really